Welcome. Hello there. Welcome again to 360 View. My name is Olufemi Motayo, your host for the podcast, this show where we look at all the sites in the news, especially news relating to Nigeria. Today we are looking at debt, Nigeria's debt profile. And it is now officially, we can declare that it is now a scary situation because why? Um, Apparently the new year we are going into 2023, all the revenue Nigeria is going to make, most of it will be used to service debt. So this according to the World Bank projection. The World Bank, one of the banks that Nigeria has approached in times past for loan, for credit facilities, they are now warning that Nigeria has a challenge with their debt profile. And in a projection, in a presentation made by the new World Bank lead economist for Nigeria, his name is Alex Senahat. He made this projection in November last month, and he said, so the document was titled Nigeria Public Finance Review, Fiscal Adjustment for Better or Sustainable Development Results. So the documents, I'm just going to break down the document for you so you can know where Nigeria is in terms of our debts to debt profile. When you look at our ability to make revenue and the debt we are servicing, because if you look at this current administration, actually one thing that most people agree that the body administration has been blamed on many quarters for failing on many fronts. But if there's one particular thing that this government has done, is in the area of um, projects, um, infrastructure project, especially. You've seen the revitalization of the railways. You've seen the high roads being fixed, especially the major express, the bridges. Now we learned that the second Niger bridge is almost complete. So, we can give it that for them, but at what cost? So the cost is that Nigeria has relied heavily on debt to finance this project. But what's the implication of that to the country and the future of Nigeria? So let's listen to this presentation by Alexei Hart. He said, um, the project, the document projected that debt servicing would go up 102% of the federal revenue by the end of this year, 2020. So 100.2%, meaning that all the revenue that government will make, then zero point 0.2 of that is going to servicing of debt. So what that means is bye bye to projects. Bye bye to uh, revenue that will meet our current need because we are paying debt. So we have borrowed ahead. We have borrowed for all that we need money for. This country has borrowed ahead. This was a decline for the earlier projection in its October Africa Post report, which is the biennial analysis of the near-term macroeconomy outlook for this region, this African region, published during the World Bank / IMF spring and annual meetings in April and October. In the Africa Post report, the bank said that Nigerian debt service to ratio could stand at 102.3 by the end of this year. So 100.2, 102.3 is still not far from each other, but it can be significant. The point is that it's more than 100% the amount Nigeria is going to be spending to fix its debt. Um, the situation will be there according to this report in 2023 as debt surviving will exceed 118% of revenue reported in the first 4 months. So from the first 4 months of 2023, like that is from January to like April, more than 118% um, of our revenue will be for servicing debts. So we'll be paying everything that Nigeria makes and more to service the debt. Um, then in this presentation, the World Bank lead economist, that's Alexei Hart, he said Nigeria borrowing more money was not the solution for Nigeria. The documentary, let me read the document to you. He said borrowing more is not the solution. Debt costs are rising rapidly, squeezing non-interest spending because the debt costs keep rising. So we are paying even more than we've borrowed. Debt servicing has surged over the past decade and is expected to continue increasing over the medium term, crowding out productive spending. Productive spending, the money that should have gone for, you know, basic amenities, basic living, providing subsidies, making life better for the country and the citizens. Nigeria is going to be paying all that revenue to debt. That's what's happening. What's going to be happening? Um, Nigeria debt rose to 44.6 in the third quarter. That is, by the end of September, it was already at 44.6 trillion, with Nigeria struggling with the repayment burden. So we are struggling. The country is really struggling. And how are we making money to pay back? It is by, the way Nigeria is already doing it is through uh, the revenue, our revenue. And what's our revenue? Our revenue is mostly oil. And this oil revenue that Nigeria makes, we're already spending uh, more than almost half of that amount is already being stolen. It is incredible what is happening in this country. That even the way we are supposed to pay back this debt, it's been stolen. So how are we going to pay? Who is going to pay this money? So there was a 2.5% increase in third quarter, with Nigeria acquiring 1.2 trillion debt within 3 months. The debt just keep rising. So the debt management office said that increase in public debt was now due to new borrowings by federal government as part finance the deficit in the 2022 Appropriation Act, that's the budget of 2022, alongside new borrowings by subnational. So some states are borrowing, probably some local government have started borrowing, and most of these foreign partners have been obliging the country, especially China. It looks like many of them are now, changing their tune, but the one we've already collected, we have to pay, right? Um, so the World Bank said the Nigeria's debt was also at risk of becoming unsustainable at the event of macro fiscal shocks. So Nigeria's debt is sustainable for now, but was vulnerable and costly. The debt are costly due to large and growing financing from the Central Bank of Nigeria. So we're in the midst of all these. Nigeria is still, spending money to print the new naira. You know, if you look at when even the central bank governor wanted to contest, we got the rumor he wanted to contest for presidency. If you look at the garage and you can count up to more than 100 cars with which money. So, and then in recent time, you could see the amount being discovered left, right, and center of how people siphon money due to change of money now. They are bringing us those money, and it is unbelievable. The wastage in this country. So, the current debt stock of 27% of the GDP is considered sustainable. Micro fiscal shock can push the debt to unsustainable level. The long and short of this is that Nigeria, we are in a serious situation, and we need a new government that can really stop all this. and make Nigeria a producing country, producing country, not the one that will rely on petroleum alone. We have governments in this country, most of the states, that rely on Abuja, that whatever Abuja does is when they will now be able to, get something going. It's not supposed to be. It's not sustainable. We can't continue like this. So we need a change, and I can't imagine how long Nigeria is going to repay this debt, and we don't want to go into second slavery. So the earlier Nigerians understand this situation, the better for all of us, and we need to come out of this situation as soon as possible because debt is on the horizon and nobody is immune from it. I hope they don't start taking over the asset of this country. I hope we don't wake up one day and they've taken over Aso Rock and taken over our critical infrastructure because they need to recover their debt. Thank you for listening to me again. As we look forward to better stories to cover in Nigeria. Don't forget to subscribe and comment as usual. Do have a great day.